Hello, welcome to video number 4, and you can see I'm all caught up, and so should you. Hopefully you've maneuvered these into place. Now, some of you may have encountered some problems with this, so first of all I'm going to try and fix some of those problems that you may have had. So one problem here is that the left side, when you go to move it, what you might do is you might end up with the move choice being over here. So you can either rotate it the wrong way or rotate it the right way, but then it's going to end up all the way down here, which might not be what you were expecting. So that might have confused you a little bit about how you're supposed to do that. Well, as long as you rotate it around the right way, the point to point will still work. So if I now go over to here to point, I know that this corner here should fit and sit on this corner here. So just by clicking there, it will move it up and it will actually put it into place for me. So you can see that all fits together nicely. Now, the other choice I could have had is, what I could have done with the move choice is I could have selected this one here, which is the rotate tool. And it asks you to select an axis to rotate this around. Now I can select an axis somewhere very far away, which wouldn't be a good idea. It's going to rotate round in a circle around that point, as if that's its center point. But what I'd probably want to do is select this edge here, and then it will rotate around just that edge, and that will lift it up nicely. And I could probably then just use the move tool and just drag it 5mm in, and it will be in the same position as well. So that works quite nicely. Now, earlier on I was talking about how this distance from here to here is no longer 100, it's 95, because we've cut 5mm off, which means that this slot isn't in the middle the same as this slot. Well, actually it is, because we've cut the same bits off the sides, but it's not going to be quite the same. So what I did is I intentionally did the same here. So you can see here my slot on this side is lower down than my slot on this side. And the reason for this is because I made this one before I cut this section here out. So the middle point has changed because I've removed 5mm. The middle point for this one is 2.5mm higher. And what that's going to mean is that when I go to move this into place, you can see it's done that wrong rotation again, and I am going to use that rotate there so we can see this, and I'm going to rotate around that point there, that when this lifts up, that my slots are not going to line up on this corner. They're going to smash into each other, they're not going to work, and at this bit here they're going to be too high. So you have to be very, very careful to make sure that when you are making all of the slots that you put them in and you do them in the right order, because if you do them in the wrong order, then the halfway point changes. Just want to quickly show you what that looks like. So here, when I made this point, this line here came all the way down to here. So its halfway point, if we hover over that, is here, which is correct. But that's not halfway over here, because this is now 5mm shorter. So that would make my slot wrong. Now, if you've made that mistake, you can simply press the back button, or you could just delete the whole side. You could delete all of these parts off, redraw the line in, and start fresh. I'm actually going to leave the mistake in. It's at the back, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't bother me. But obviously if you've made any mistakes like that, you're going to want to go around your box at this stage and check and make sure you haven't got any problems. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a little shelf in here for our cactus to sit on. We're going to put some holes in the shelf for any excess water to drain through, because cactuses like to be quite nice and dry. So we're going to make something very similar to the base, and we're going to position it up here and put some slots going around the outside for it to position itself into like this. I can hide the base, and you can see that that then slots into all of those sides. In order to do that, we're going to go back into that original sketch, and I'm keeping everything in this sketch. If at some point during these tutorials you've pressed the create sketch button again and reselected the base, you're going to have multiple sketches here. Now this is going to be a huge problem later on, because when we want to export this sketch to cut it, you're going to have several different sketches, and we won't be able to cut all of them. We can only cut one at a time. So please make sure you're always only working in one sketch for this particular task. So I'm going to press the back button, get rid of that sketch, right click and edit sketch. Now the base that I want to put in here, I'm going to draw over here, and it's basically going to be the same as this wall but with another castle joint on the top. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. I could draw a smaller square and do the math and say, well, I'm going to take 5 off the top, 5 off the bottom, so that's going to make this one 90, and I'm going to take 5 off the side and 5 off the side and make it 90. So I could draw a 90 by 90 square and draw these extra bits sticking out, or I could do it the same as I did this one, and I quite like that. So I'm actually going to come up and off of this point, and I'm going to come up and away from this point, and hopefully it'll allow me to select both of them. It's not, that's okay. So up like this, 100, tab 100, and we'll use that sketch dimension tool just to pull this back again and say, no, I want that to be 5, and we'll line that up with there. You can see this is all nicely lined up. So we're going to basically rinse and repeat making these tabs, but all the way around the outside. Pretty easy, nothing you haven't done already. Like this, 5mm in, line, and we're going to go 25, line, 25, line, up, line, up, and across, and across. And then we're just going to trim the bits off that we don't want, which is this bit, and this bit, this bit, this bit, and this bit, this bit, and this bit. So go ahead, do that on the bottom as well, do it on this side and do it on this side, and I'm going to run through that very quickly. But I'm instantly going to have an issue here, because this edge here now is going to be the wrong size, and it's going to do the same as what this bit here that I've left wrong on purpose, because now I'm not coming halfway from this point, I'm coming halfway from this point. So if I continued, this slot and this slot that sticks out would all be in the wrong place. Now to rectify that nice and easily, all I need to do is not do the trimming until I'm finished. If I leave the trimming undone, when I scroll down to here, my middle point will still be in the middle, so this will still be 50mm away. So at this point here I can type in 5, then I want to jump straight to the next wall and go 5, and I want to jump straight to the next wall and go 5. Now at this point I could start trimming if I wanted to, because I've got those lines in place, but I'm actually just going to put these in nice and quickly. 25, 25, Now be careful of doing that, because it's hard to find the end of the line again. Oh, there we go, there we go. And now we're ready to start trimming this off. So we want to trim this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. You can see I've got 1/4 of this done here, and then I can repeat this on the other sides. Now, if you do have a little slip, this is obvious, and you, oh, wrong one, you can always just use the undo button, and that's the same shortcut as usual for the undo button. Okay, that's what you should end up with. Press the escape button, take a nice big screenshot of your new shelf, and join me for the next video.